You may be wondering, when did this live happen? Did I miss this live? No, you didn't miss. This is not live. This is pre-recorded. Well, it's not pre-recorded. I am recording it now. Pre-recorded would mean I recorded it before, and now I'm doing commentary. Well, anyways, I'm recording it now, as I'm going to be playing it. I'm gonna be trying to beat Night 5. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I have some ideas on how I might go about doing this better. I got a tip in the last video. I will cut ahead when after I've finished talking about stuff. Essentially, I got one tip, which I thought was a pretty good tip, which was that I should watch the Markiplier video to see how to do this. Yeah, basically from watching that video, I figured out a couple things. Well, first of all, it was a little bit debilitating, for one, because it seems like he beat Night 5 in like a couple tries, and I was like, that's crazy. Can't imagine doing that. But there were a couple things I picked up from it. One was that he was a lot faster than I was, and I don't know if there's some way to check. There might be some way to do that, to like flip between cameras with a keyboard, but I don't know how to do that. But yeah, the fact that he beat it in a couple tries makes me think a couple things. A, like I said, I need to be faster. In order to be faster, I've got a few ideas on how I might do that. A is I'm playing in windowed mode right now, which allows me to kind of, I mean, it's going to take some getting used to because I can pretty easily knock my mouse out of the window here. So basically, I could tell that Markiplier beat it in a couple tries. But other than that, I don't think he had any more information than I did. Some of the tips I've been getting are good tips. For one, you can tell that Freddy's moving when you hear his laugh, so that allows me to use sound cues instead for the bottom right corner when he's there. Other than that, I think a lot of the tips I was getting are a little bit more tailored to the later ones, because now I know that there's a Night 6 and I think a Night 7, as well as a 420 mode. And I think actually a lot of people are giving me tips from the 420 mode, which I don't think really apply to Night 5. They're a strategy that they use on a mode that's supposedly impossible, or at least was thought to be impossible at the time, which meant they don't work 100% of the time, but it's just like the best, most efficient way they could find to sort of cheese the system. I don't think it's a good strategy, though, necessarily. It might be, we'll see. I might try something more like that then and see if it works, because I really have been ignoring that strategy. Another one people say is that you have to keep the camera trained on Freddy. I think this is a myth. I think it's something people said a lot when the game came out. I think it's something a lot of people believed when the game was first released, and I don't think anybody's really bothered to try to clear it up or anything. I'm not really sure, honestly, but maybe I'll give it a go. Basically, they say keep the camera trained on Freddy and he won't move. Like I said, I don't really know. It hasn't really been my experience that that's the way it works. Like, my camera's trained on him right now. He's still there. Hasn't moved. Theoretically, the only two that I need to check are, other than these lights here, every now and again, would be the Foxy, and then as long as I know where Freddy is, I don't need to check the bottom right corner. But if I don't know where Freddy is, I'll just check the bottom right corner every now and again. But we'll see if this strategy, works at all. Hard to say. This might actually be a decent strategy that I just, for some reason, I was quite opposed to, I think, because it seems a little like it's not how the game works, It's like I'm ignoring half of the game, and I kind of felt uncomfortable doing that. So that's why I didn't do it. But I understand the logic behind it. The reason I'm recording this instead of streaming it is because I just want to beat this. I want to be done with it, so I'm planning on trying to beat it tonight, and I feel like when I stream it, see, this is the problem with it, though, is like when this happens is I just get screwed, and it happens so often. Yeah, I feel like I wanted to do this off stream because, I don't know, I kind of get the feeling that maybe it's a little more distracting to do it on stream because I'm also paying attention to the chat off window, and it's a whole other thing to pay attention to. Whereas at least now, you know, I only have to pay attention to the game. Streaming has been interesting so far. I'm really happy that, you know, people have been watching my streams. It's very nice. I appreciate it. Especially some of my Five Nights at Freddy's streams and some of my videos. The Five Nights ones seem to do really well for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I guess it's just a really popular game. See, I had it trained on Freddy and he's just not even there. I appreciate when people show up for those because it means that it's not just my, you know, it's not just the game. Maybe there's something, you know, that people appreciate about the stream itself, or, you know, about what I'm doing. You know, that's a nice thought to have, you know. Although on the other hand, I do kind of like how the smaller streams are a little less stressful at times. Partly because this game is like a really stressful game, so it puts me on edge. Incredibly on edge. Yeah, so if you've been watching my other stuff, know that I appreciate you immensely. Not that I don't appreciate the people that watch these, but I don't know, I can only do so many of these, you know, before I have to play a different game. So, like, this is probably going to be the end of it, you know. I don't know that I'm going to be playing it again after this. But I'll try to move on to some of the other ones. I've been told to try Five Nights 2. I've been told to try all the other ones, so I will do that. Alright, I think I have a legitimate strategy. I do think I can combine this sort of strategy to conserve power. And I can kind of see why people might have been frustrated with me by not listening to that. I don't know, I thought it was a bad idea, so I decided not to do it, but now I'm starting to see that maybe this is just the way to go. Because it's going to help me conserve a lot of power to just do it this way. I kind of started doing it. I made it pretty far there. You know what I think also, and I can experiment with this, but I think there's a very specific sound cue to when Freddy moves to the right room. Because when he moved just then, it was really far away, and I could definitely tell he was not anywhere near me. But when he is right next to me, I think I can hear it. I think I can tell. See, I don't think that's it. Also, for some reason, I double-click the lights and it just doesn't... I have to, like, stagger it. Yeah, that's not it either, right? That's it, I think. No, it's not. It sounded like it, but it's not. See, this is what I need, is just the silence. Oh, bringing up the thing just automatically turns the lights off. That's interesting. That sounds like that's it. Which means now I only need to check this. Oh, what the hell? Cringe, dude. Okay, well, I thought one of my ideas, just to bring this in, is one of my ideas was that back in 2014 when this game released, I thought to myself, back in 2014 we all had smaller monitors and there was less real estate on the screen. So I think I mentioned this, but I'm playing in windowed mode, which makes it so I can move my mouse a little quicker. I've got less real estate to sort of cover when I move my mouse, you know, because now we have these big giant 4K monitors so that we can see all the cool graphics and stuff. But back in that day, we would have had a pretty small monitor, and so I think this should allow me to make quicker movements, although I'm not really sure I'm going much faster, to be honest. So I was hoping that would help, but I'm almost thinking I should just switch back to full screen, because at least at that point I won't be able to move my mouse off the screen as much. Why can't I beat this? Did he make it harder on purpose? Is it harder now? It's hard for me to tell, but like sometimes I get close. I haven't gotten super close, I'll say, but I've gotten close. I think I only had one run that was like actually could have been literal seconds from winning. I'm just, I don't understand. I feel like every time I do this, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like I should be doing something differently, but I don't know what it is. And based on the advice I've gotten, I don't really think there is anything that I could be doing. Even just employing this strat, which I'm doing right now, is just only checking the Foxy and Freddy cams and then only checking lights the rest of the time, I really think it's mostly just luck. Kind of how I feel about this game, but I so want this. I so want to beat this. I want it to just be over. This is my life. My life has been hell since I started playing this. Not really, but this game is hell, and I want to get out of it, and I want to escape, and I want to be done with this. I gotta be honest, I didn't understand, like, when this game came out, I remember this game coming out, back in 2014, I was literally old enough to be in college. I was in college when this game came out. So, you know, I think for some people, this is like a childhood game. 2014, that was 8 years ago. So, like, let's say if you were 10 when this game came out, you would have been a kid, technically, and you're an adult now. Technically, that's true. Which feels weird for me. Makes me feel real old. When this came out, it was I felt kind of, to be honest, I felt kind of too old for it. I didn't really get the phenomenon. Like, I remember going to Chuck E. Cheese's when I was a kid, and they had the animatronics still. The, like, creepy, weird-looking animatronics, but I don't know. I never really found them that scary. I thought the idea of it was a little, I don't know, I didn't really get it. I'm like, why are these, so, like, what's so scary about the animatronics? Like, they're weird and creepy, but I don't know, they don't really scare me per se. And you know, I guess I didn't understand the appeal of this game, to be honest. But having played it over the course of a few weeks, I kind of understand it. It's like one of those games that's just really, really overwhelming and kind of frustrating to play. It is an intense experience, I think, just because of all the things you have to manage to avoid the jump scare. Which is a lot. And so it's a very stressful game, and I think that's where the horror really comes from. Or the fear factor really comes from. I don't know if I'd call it horror. We've only been at it for 40 minutes, and I feel a lot more capable at the moment than I usually do on stream, I think. I will say, though, I was never really a fan of, like, the cheap jump scare. Which I kind of felt like this game. Kind of cheap jump. But the jump scares are, you know, they happen because you didn't pay enough attention. It is maybe a little bit deserved. I don't think I mean, a lot of people have watched me play this, so I don't know that it actually scares me. I feel differently having played it for a while, that I'm like, it is what it is. It's a very simple setup, a very simple, like, premise. Nothing too crazy about it. It's just micromanaging things, and yeah, at the time I did not play this game. And then I realized, like, after this game came out, the creator, like, let's see, this is just unfair. If I remember correctly, he released, like, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and 3, and he just kept releasing them, like, I think it was, like, the same year. It's just, like, these things kept coming out at, like, an insane pace, and it was ridiculous. I was like, what is this guy doing? And to be honest, I also, because of that, I kind of questioned the quality of the games. Because I was like, they can't be that good if he only put, like, a couple months of effort into making this. But, you know, I feel kind of bad saying that now. It's always something every single time, man. It's like I don't know what to do. It's like there's always just one thing that just ends up screwing up the round for me. And sometimes it's just like a really bad luck, and I'm getting, you know, attacked on both sides at the same time, and it's drilling my power. But I think more often than not I get screwed by the, like, thing breaking. I don't know why that's such a prevalent issue for me, that the thing breaks. Because that always just, that's an insta-lose. I don't even, honestly, that mechanic, if it's supposed to be a mechanic, it feels like a bug. If it's supposed to be a mechanic, it's a really bad one. Like, it's a terrible mechanic. Why not just kill me if that's what you want to do? But I don't like the idea of, like, I'm guaranteed almost certainly to die here. But maybe I can win. It's like, just kill me. Sometimes it feels like I missed something, and other times it's like, I don't know. Is it like it's my reaction speed? It's like, oh, you didn't react fast enough. It's like, okay, well, maybe I didn't, I guess. But like sometimes it's like, I swear I pulled on the map, I instantly noticed them, and I'm like, okay, I got this, and then no, I didn't get it in time. It's like, how fast do I have to be? Part of the reason pretty much the whole reason I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's was because I kind of wanted to make I wanted to try my hand at making more, like, analytical videos instead of doing Let's Plays and stuff. Because I kind of got sick of doing Let's Plays for a while. It just so happened that, like I streamed this and it kind of popped off a little bit. So I was like, maybe I'll just see where that takes me if I keep doing it. Because I do like the idea of streaming. I just never really thought I could do it, you know. I've tried it a few times in my life. You'll notice I have some streams on YouTube from like a while back that were attempts at doing this, but they didn't get much traction, so I just kind of was like, all right, well, that's gonna be a really difficult thing. But I kind of wanted to try it again at the same time, but I just never really did. So like I said, I was trying to do more analytical videos, and so I wanted to play this game and kind of do like a video about my thoughts on whether or not it's actually a decent game, or, you know, just like kind of review it in a very like methodical sense. I looked up some strategies. I looked up like a complete guide about, because I've been killed by Freddy a couple times here, and I feel like I don't really understand his thing. So I was like, I'm just gonna look up and see if anybody has any idea how Freddy works. Honestly, I read through a strategy guide and it left me even more confused, because the guy in the strategy guide almost wants me to check more things than I'm doing currently, and that stresses me out a little bit. He says I should be keeping my camera on Freddy most of the time. So Freddy's there. I don't know why, though. I don't really understand his logic, because he's saying that Freddy can't move rooms while I have my camera tracked on him, basically. So long as I think I have my monitor open, holy shit. That was a quick Foxy. As long as I have my monitor open and tracked on him, trained on him, he won't move. But if my monitor is not open, he'll still move. So the strategy isn't really very good, I feel like. Why should I watch Freddy? Because additionally, he said, if Freddy is in 4B, that means he's right about to attack, because Freddy follows a set path. He will always follow a set path. The other animatronics, not so much. Especially Bonnie. Bonnie can kind of go a little bit random, but Chica kind of follows a set path, but I think he said she can skip some rooms. But he did say that I'm screwed. So, strategically, people are telling me, you know, make sure that you check, like, just keep your eye on both 4B and Pirate Cove, which is camera 1C. According to this guide, he says I should watch Freddy. That's what I should be doing, not watching Foxy. But I've been keeping my camera on Foxy usually, because that way I will know if he's left the cove or not. And then I don't really need to check anything else unless I hear Freddy move, which Freddy always laughs when he moves. So if you hear a total of like 5 or 6 laughs, that's when he's right probably next to you. It's also telling me that I can usually tell if Bonnie or Chica are nearby because I'll hear their footsteps, and I can track via that. That confuses the hell out of me because I don't know what to discern as either one's footsteps when I kind of hear footsteps quite constantly, and it hasn't really seemed to line up with anything specific. I don't know if I should take too much credence in his strategy guide, because his strategy was literally check Freddy constantly, and I don't know why I would need to do that necessarily if all I need to know is that he's in 4B. If he's in 4B, he's right next to the office. Problem is that I don't know when... Like, sometimes he skips the room. Now, there was a little bit of information, or, like, it seems like he skips the room is what I'm saying. According to my experience with the game. It feels like sometimes I don't see him and I get killed by him. So, I'm wondering, that's what I wanted to sort of figure out, is like, am I missing something? He did say something about Freddy's laugh being overlapped by other sounds sometimes. Alright. That's not bad. That means, so he also told me Freddy can only attack if the right door is not closed and I open the monitor. I'm losing my mind. I've been playing this for, this is the thing. I've been playing this way too long, and I don't understand. I don't understand why this is so hard. Why I'm failing to do this. And I think maybe it's because I'm regressing in my strategy a little bit, but I'm trying to conserve power is the thing. Like, Night 5... The only way I've found to conserve to like 50% power at least by 3 a.m. is to be extremely conservative. And in that way, I have to only, if I check just the 2 cameras and the lights occasionally, I save enough power. So I can't really follow this guy's advice about following Freddy because it's going to consume way too much power. After hours of playing this game, I think I've devised a strategy that I think might work. I was gonna save it. I was hoping I would beat it, and then I'd be able to divulge the strategy. Basically, the strategy is quite simple. I'm starting to figure out that two things I found out. See, Freddy's moved. He's now in 1B. So I need to keep my eyes tracked on Freddy. Generally, when he is not in necessarily 4B, but 4A, I can slow down his movement. And I've realized that strategically, most of my power wasting is from having the door closed when Freddy is in 4B. So if I can slow him down, you know, and watch him throughout and just kind of open my camera probably more often than I do, I can maybe cut a path that conserves power overall. Additionally, the lights. Typically, if you click the light once, you can't turn it off immediately. If I move the mouse immediately, hold on, I did it wrong. Like that, I can immediately turn it off. Is he in 1B? Oh, additionally, I forgot to mention, he's overlapped by Chica. So, that is a point to mention that I don't think a lot of people realize, is that when Chica is in the same room as Freddy, you can't see Freddy. But he's still there, just there. You would have seen that Chica was in the room, but I didn't see Freddy, even though I heard that he was there. He wasn't there in the background, right? So, but as soon as Chica left that room, I could see him, so I knew he was still there. In room 4B, if Chica's there, this is why I was getting killed by Freddy randomly, is because if Chica's in the room, Freddy doesn't show up on the camera. So, even though you can hear that he moved to that room, you won't see that he's there. So if you only see Chica there and you have the door open, Freddy can just move into the office. So this is all the stuff that I've learned playing this just by myself, in addition to the guide information that I read. So now, you know, I feel like I have all the tools to do this. And I'm, you know, here we go. So I'm gonna go silent now because I think I explained everything I wanted to. And I'm just gonna kill myself actually and start over. Oh my god. Okay. Holy crap. By the time I actually figured out how to play this game, it actually turned out that oh my god. I don't even know what to say right now. There's a sixth night. Now that I've beaten it, I'm like, I understand. I understand it now. I literally just kept him locked. Freddy never showed up in 4B because I kept him, like, I found the interval in which I have to just check cameras at this time, and I got into the rhythm of it, and he never moved, not once. I figured out the rhythm, and if he never moves, I never have to close that door, and I conserve so much power, and then it just becomes really easy. So that is the trick, and I feel kind of bad about it, because like there were so many people telling me, oh, you gotta watch Freddy, like, oh, you gotta keep an eye on Freddy, and I was just ignoring them because I'm like, that's ridiculous. How am I supposed to know where Freddy is? But now that I know that he only moves linear, like that's the key piece of information that I was missing was I didn't realize that he moved linearly through the rooms. And since that's the case, I know exactly where he is almost 100% of the time. Pretty much 100% of the time I know where he is. And I can keep an eye on him. I just check that camera, check Foxy occasionally, flash back, and then I just have to open the camera every now and again, and it actually, now that I know all the tricks, now that I know all the secrets, I'm like, I get it now. I was playing this game wrong. I don't, I'm so glad I beat it. Holy crap. I saw it at the end of that. I was like, I've got 30% power. I'm on 5 a.m. I've won. I just have to not screw it up. I have to make sure I check the lights, open the camera every now and again, but I don't think I could run out of power at this point. I could, but I think all right. Well, holy crap, that took me way too long to do, and I understand if anybody was like frustrated with the way I was playing it, but at the same time, I don't think anybody really explained it to me properly that I had to keep an eye on Freddy, because they said that, but at the same time, like, I didn't understand that he moves, like, unlike all the other animatronics. Like, the other animatronics move randomly, but not him. He's the only one that doesn't. Like, Chica kind of moves, not randomly. Also, it helps keeping an eye on Freddy, because then I don't have to check Chica's light as much if I see Chica. If I see Chica on Freddy's cam, I don't have to check her light. I noticed that as well. I was like, oh, that's a nice little save. That I just need to check like a couple things. Anyways, I'm done. I beat the game. If anybody watches this, I'm gonna edit it heavily, but let me know what you want me to do, because I can do Sixth Night. I feel like I can do it now, but at the same time, this took me so long just to do Night 5. But I also, there's two parts to it, right? It's like, it took me so long to do it, but at the same time, I feel like I understand it well enough that I might be able to do Sixth Night now. I feel like I've figured out how the game works. Alright, well, anyways, that's it. I'm done. I recorded this all through OBS, so hopefully the audio sounds good, but it sounded good when I was streaming, so I assumed it's gonna sound fine now, so. Alright, yeah, check out my other videos, and I'll probably stream something else. Just, like, in the comments, just, like, let me know what you guys want me to do, and I will consider doing it. I get a lot of recommendations through, like, the streams and stuff, but if you leave it in the comments, it's more, like, permanent, and then I'll be able to, like, have a better idea. And also, I guess people can, like, upvote it as well, like it, and then, then it's a better idea of, like, if people like it or not, you know. It's like, oh, this is the most popular idea for stuff for me to do. Anyways, that's it. I'm done. I finished the game. I finished the game. I'm done. I'm done with this game. Goodbye.